Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Pritika Gonsalves, and today we are going to talk about an important topic in psychology of daily lives, and that is ghosting in relationship, a silent treatment. So, let me just share the PPT and then we can move forward. Okay, so relationship ghosting, the silent treatment. Now, many a times in this era, there is a lot of ghosting that happens, and we remain wounded. We don't know what to do at this point of time. We get hurt, and that is why we decided that MindBasket will give you all a webinar on it, which will have how to overcome it and also give you all some activity, right? So let me just change the PPT. Now, the anatomy of ghosting. So, the breakdowns the ghosting processes into stages, revealing it's rarely a single impulsive act. Okay. So, the first stage that comes is the fade, also known as the passive withdrawal. Communication subtly decreases, replies become slower, shorter, and less enthusiastic. Initiating contacts shift disproportionately to one person. Like, for example, Alex used to text good morning every day and reply within minutes. Now, replies take hours or days, are just K or emojis, and Sam is always the one texting first. The stage two, the avoidance or active dodging. The ghoster starts actively avoiding interaction. They make excuses, super busy, sick, phone issues, cancel plans last minute, and become vague. Example, when Sam suggests meeting up, Alex suddenly has a work deadline. Okay, like family stuff included, or it could be just leaves the message on read without responding to Alex, being that I don't want to reply to Sam and just leaves her on scene, right? Stage three, the disappearance, the complete silence. All communication ceases abruptly, calls go unanswered, texts show delivered, but never get a reply, and attempts to reach out on other platforms are ignored. The person vanishes from the relationship. For example, after seemingly normal text exchange, Alex stops replying entirely. Sam sends follow ups. Is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? Can we talk? Over days, weeks with no response. Alex is active on social media but ignores Sam. So, are you getting how this comes out? Has this happened to you or someone close? Then it's time that you know what is happening. And most importantly, I think you need to share this webinar with the people you know so that they can be aware of what is going to happen or save themselves. Spotting the spectral signs. So, recognizing early red flags that someone might be prone to ghosting or is becoming the fade. Okay, like inconsistent communication, hot and cold behavior, intense attention followed by unexplained withdrawal. For example, uh, Mark showers Lisa with text and calls for a week and then disappears for days without explanation, repeating the cycle. Avoidance of vulnerability or depth, dodging serious conversations about feelings, the future, or relationship status, Like, for example, let's just see where it goes indefinitely. For example, whenever Priya tries to talk about defining their relationship after months of dating, Raj changes the subject or jokes it off. Flackiness or excuses. Habitual last minute cancellations with weak excuses, unreliability. For example, David cancels 3 dates in a row, once for a sudden migraine, once because his car wouldn't start, and once with no reason given. Low investment, minimal effort in planning, communicating, or showing interest in your life. You feel like you're carrying the relationship. For example, Maya always suggests activities, remembers Anya's important dates, and asks his question. Anya rarely initiates plan, forgets details Maya shared, and conversations revolve around her. The emotional haunting that we're going to talk about will also let you understand what are the emotions that you go through. So I hope you understood this part, and you need to be careful, right? Emotional haunting. The profound and often complex negative impact ghosting has on the person who was ghosted. Confusion and self doubt. Okay. So lack of closure leads to obsession, and you start questioning, what did I do wrong? Was it something I said? For example, Ben replays every conversation and interaction for weeks, searching for clues, blaming himself. There is also rejection, and with that comes anxiety. Intense feelings of being unwanted, worthless, and disposable. Fear of future rejection is amplified. For example, Sarah feels physically sick with anxiety, checking her phone, jumps at every notification, and starts believing she's inherently unlovable. Anger and resentment, frustration at the cowardice, disrespect, and lack of closure. Feeling used. For example, Tom feels furious at being treated as if he and the 6 month relationship meant nothing. Okay. Then there is also erosion of trust, difficulty trusting new people or future partners, fearing that they will also disappear. For example, after being ghosted, Chloe finds it hard to open up to new dates, constantly expecting them to vanish, right? Why people turn spectral. Understanding the motivation behind ghosting. It's about the ghoster and not the ghosted. So, conflict avoidance, right? Extreme discomfort with difficult conversations, confrontation, or hurting someone's feelings directly. For example, instead of telling Jenna he wasn't feeling a connection after 5 dates, Leo ghosts because he can't handle the potential awkwardness or tears. Immaturity and lack of communication, inability to handle relationship complexities, or express needs or desires honestly. For example, Emma, who's 22 years, ghosts because she doesn't know how to say I'm not ready for something serious and thinks fading away is easier. Fear of intimacy or commitment, getting close triggers a flight response. Ghosting is an escape hatch. For example, when things started, okay, getting serious with Michael, Carla felt panicked and vanished. Convenience and selfishness. Seeing the other person as disposable, prioritizing their own immediate comfort over the other person's feelings. For example, after getting what he wanted, maybe emotional support during a tough time, Daniel ghosts because he feels the relationship has served its purpose and he can't be bothered to end it properly. Overwhelm. Sometimes, less commonly, people dealing with severe personal crises such as mental health, family tragedy, shut down and ghost unintentionally. though it is still harmful. For example, after a sudden family loss, Alex withdrew from everyone, including his new partner, Sam, unable to communicate their pain. Shielding yourself from the fade. I mean, we all want to overcome it. And how do we do that? That is what we are going to learn here. So, proactive strategies to reduce vulnerability to ghosting, observe actions, not just words, pay attention to consistency, reliability, and effort. For example, don't be swayed by I really like you if they never make concrete plans. Set clear boundaries and expectations. Communicate your needs early. For example, I appreciate consistent communication. I value honesty, even if it's difficult. Example, Priya tells a new date. If you lose interest, I'd really appreciate you just letting me know instead of disappearing. I promise I'll respect your honesty. Maintain your own life. Don't center your world around a new person too quickly. Keep up hobbies, friendships, and independence. For example, David continues his weekly basketball games and book club even when excited about someone new. Trust your gut. If something feels off, inconsistency, avoidance, don't ignore it. Address it calmly or reassess the connection. For example, Maya feels uneasy about Raj's avoidance of serious talks. She directly asks us about the intention instead of brushing it aside. Don't chase. If someone is pulling away, fade stage that happens, match their energy, don't bombard them, let them show their interest. For example, after Leo's text becomes fast and not, based of curiosity and he looks uninterested, Jenna stops initiating and focusing on her own life, right? Navigating the afterlife of ghosting. So, how to heal and move forward after being ghosted. Acknowledge and feel. Allow yourself to grieve the loss and feel the anger, sadness, and confusion. Don't suppress it. For example, Ben gives himself permission to cry and feel hurt instead of pretending he's fine. Seek closure within. Understand closure comes from accepting their actions, reflect their character, not your worth. For example, Sarah writes a letter expressing a feeling but doesn't send it to process her emotions and affirm her value. No contact. Resist the urge to stalk them online or reach out again. Block if necessary for your peace. For example, Tom blocks Alex on social media and messaging apps to stop the temptation to check messages. Self care and support. Lean on friends and family. Engage in activities you love. Prioritize your well being. For example, Chloe plans weekend hikes with friends and restarts her painting hobby. Reframe the narrative. See it as a dodging, as if you're dodging a bullet. Someone incapable of mature communication isn't a good partner, right? So, for example, David realizes this and he says, if Leonie couldn't handle a simple conversation, then he's not ready for a relationship. Also, professional help if needed. If the pain is severe or persistent, consider therapy. For example, after months of dealing with anxiety, Sarah seeks therapy to address her fear of abandonment. Okay, building a transparent future. Learning from the experience to foster healthier communication in future relationships. Value and practice open communication. Make honesty and directness, even when difficult, a core value in your relationship. Maya tells her new partner early on, I really value open communication. If something is bothering you, please tell me. I am here to listen to you and understand. Normalize difficult communications, frame them as necessary for growth and intimacy, not as fights. Example, instead of saying, we need to talk, Priya says, hey, can we chat about something that's been on my mind? I want to understand your perspective. Be the change. Model the communication you desire. Be honest, direct, and kind when ending things or addressing issues. For example, when Jenna realizes she is not compatible with someone after a few dates, she texts or calls. Hey, I have enjoyed getting to know you, but I don't feel the romantic connection I'm looking for. I wish you all the best. Set and respect boundaries. Clearly communicate your needs and limits and respect those communications and communicate it also. David feels a part. David feels that he needs to tell the partner, and he takes a day to process after an argument before discussing it, and respects when his partner asks for space. Prioritize mutual respect. Choose partners who demonstrate respect through consistent actions and communication. For example, Sarah looks for partners who follow through on plans, communicate proactively, and handle disagreement calmly. I hope you understood this part. Also, as you know, many of the students or clients, they always mention that we want to know something, we want to know, like, understand the situation better. It becomes very difficult at times to do certain things, and we want some easy activities. So I will also be sharing some activities so that it would be easier for you to navigate and understand it, right? I know it can be very, very difficult at times, like, to get, understand a situation, and how, and everybody is different, and I understand we all are different human beings, and I mean, there are different activities which will suit us, and I have chosen two important ones. Also, if you want the activities, if you want more activities, um, and at the same time, there are other two webinars which we had. So you want that activities also, and you want this activity, I would suggest see all the three webinars. uh, and we will also be giving the participation certificate for the three webinars. Okay, we will be giving the resources, and I will let you know how do you get that. So you can be in the group, and through that you could maybe get those resources and the three certificates of the three webinars. I will tell you the procedure, activities that we are doing, and these are very easy ones which can be done by any one of you all. It will help you to feel better, right? So the first activity is called the sensory anchoring self compassion break. Okay, this targets the anxiety spikes and abandonment triggers. Okay, how it works: when flooded with ghosting memories, checking your phone, or feeling unseen, pause and name. So, like, for example, this is a ghosting trigger, fear is here. Engage your three senses, that is touch, grasp something, texture, stone, fabric, sound. Identify three distinct sounds like clock, birds, breath, taste or smell, sip mint tea or smell lavender. Now, self compassion mantra, softly aloud. This hurts, but I am safe now. I am not alone in this pain. May I be kind to my heart. Why this activity helps: uses neurobiology, sensory input disrupts panic loops, combats the invisibility wound of ghosting by re anchoring you in your aliveness. Self compassion directly counters the shame ghosting implants. I am disposable. Okay, so this was the first activity. Now, let's do the second activity, that is called the empty chair dialogue. Now, targets the unspoken words or stuck narratives. Okay, so place an empty chair across from you. Imagine the ghoster sitting there. Speak your truth aloud. For example, I felt confused when you vanished. I deserved honesty. Pause mindfully. Notice bodily sensations like heat, shaking, emotions, grief, rage, and thoughts. They don't care. Breathe into these judgments. Switch roles. Sit in their chair. Silently listen to what you said. Observe any impulse to defend or judge. Return to your chair. Speak to yourself with kindness. Your pain matters. Their silence cannot erase your voice. I honor your courage to speak. Why is this helpful? It releases trapped emotional energy through embodied expression, reveals the difference between your truth and their avoidance, ends the internal monologue by externalizing, then reclaiming your narrative. Okay. So these two activities are very helpful, and I'm sure they will help you a lot. So we have three webinars which are done for the psychology of daily lives. So what you can do is y'all are in the group, okay? Or if you all want the resources or the participation certificate and all these things, there is a link below. You can fill up your form, okay? We will send you once we will send you the MCQ questions. Once that is done, we will send you the participation certificate of all the three webinars and also some extra notes and resources which will be helpful. And this is a very helpful way of getting certificates and learning new things. It will help you a lot. So yes, the link is there in the description, and if you want, you can buy it. Uh, you can get through all the details, and if you want it, we will give it to you. Okay. And yes, do share it. The recordings are going to be there. The webinar is going to be there. So do share it with people so that they know and they understand. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will come soon with a new webinar. I hope you liked this one. Have a great time. Take care.